Ancient World, Ancient Nukes. Chapter 9, Blind Ambition, The First Strike. A nameless, faceless archaeologist represents the collective spirit of those seeking to understand the past to avoid repeating its mistakes. With his fellow researchers, they have uncovered evidence of ancient atomic blasts long before modern technology could have created such devastation. Their pursuit links them to the noosphere, a vast body of knowledge and collective human experience, allowing them to witness events that connect ancient civilizations across time and space. This entanglement, this connection of ancient peoples across time and space, begins in the Garden of Eden, where Adam's fascination with a burning bush that isn't consumed sparks his desire to harness a primal power, unaware of its dangerous potential. The same force appears in Egypt, where the pharaoh unearths Atlantean knowledge hidden in the pyramids, pre-ancient knowledge, seeking weapons to guarantee Egypt's eternal dominance. Mesopotamian priests, in their exploration of the ziggurats, also stumble upon ancient power, believing it to be a key to survival in an alliance with Egypt. Together, the two civilizations represent the earliest arms race. Meanwhile, in ancient Israel, King David sees the Ark of the Covenant not just as a sacred relic, but as a possible superweapon, one that has already unleashed its destructive force on Sodom and Gomorrah. His son Solomon, the future king, more restrained, fears the consequences of such power, warned by demonic entities that the Ark holds dangerous divine essences capable of catastrophic destruction. In contrast, ancient India, guided by Vedic texts and divine warnings from the god Shiva, steps back from the brink, quelling its nuclear ambitions. The god Shiva's warnings echo through time as he shows the devastation of such power, attempting to stop all these civilizations from bringing destruction upon themselves. In ancient Greece, the debate between warriors and philosophers mirrors these struggles. Socrates and Plato argue for restraint, exploring the nature of the atom as a building block of all matter, while generals of the many city-states of the Greek-speaking world push for weaponization. The archaeologist and his colleagues realize that their pursuit of understanding is not passive. Their attention, perhaps unknowingly, entangles these ancient civilizations, drawing them in a shared cosmic web. As the arms race among Egypt, Mesopotamia, Israel, and the Greek-speaking world intensifies, Shiva's warnings stand. Will these civilizations heed the messages, or are they already on an unstoppable path toward their own destruction? As the ancient powers meet at a summit to discuss their fates, the question lingers: have they set in motion a chain reaction that even the gods cannot stop? After the hastily called Summit of Powers, the world leaders return to their respective lands and eras, the atmosphere calm, the leaders appearing satisfied, believing they have averted disaster. The warnings of Shiva still echo in their minds, a reminder of the power that they have witnessed, but as they return to their various cities and temples, the ambitions that drove them to seek power in the first place begins to resurface. In Egypt, the pharaoh says calmly, "We've spoken with the gods, and there is peace for now, but we also must remain vigilant, and we cannot just simply abandon what we started with the plans from Atlantis. Our enemies won't forget the power that we wield, and they themselves will scheme to get that power." In Israel, Solomon is thoughtful. Peace is only temporary. Ambition doesn't sleep, he says, and men will always seek to improve themselves. There are many false alarms. Those with atomic weaponry want to guard what they have, while those without it fear an attack. In short, peace is an illusion. And despite the protestations that there is a peace, there's anything but. The scene shifts to a shadowy meeting between the rulers of Mesopotamia and Egypt. The two leaders sit in a chamber of secrecy, scheming, and possible diabolical means. They discuss their true intentions, the sound of soft whispers and the crackle of a small fire filling the air. While the leaders speak of the world in a peaceful way, an alliance formed between Mesopotamia and Egypt continues, their ambitions undimmed, and they plot in secret. The two civilizations have no intention of honoring the fragile peace established at the summit. Instead, they believe that now is the time to strike, to seize power while the other civilizations are lulled into a false sense of security. The pharaoh and the ruler of Mesopotamia lean over a map, their voices low as they plan their first strike. The pharaoh, confident and cunning, says, "We have the resources and the knowledge. The pyramids, long thought to be tombs, are more than that. Their fortresses and our stockpiles of weapons, hidden for now centuries, remain untouched." These stockpiles existed along with the schematics. We just recently discovered them. If we strike first, we can use the weapons left behind by the Atlanteans along with the plans to build more, which we're doing, and we will crush our enemies before they have a chance to respond. And what you seem to have inherited from that ziggurat and the planning and intelligence of these angel beings, the Nephilim, will aid our cause. We will have two sources of unstoppable weapons. And the Mesopotamian king, calculating, says yes. Heaven guiding the Nephilim, these strange creatures that have really left us power sources that you've helped us to understand, and along with the weapons that the Atlanteans are left behind for you. Together we will be unstoppable. The power we possess, our alliance will be unbreakable. Let the others believe we seek peace. By the time they realize the truth, it will be too late. The two study an ancient map showing the strategic positions of the other civilizations. Their plan is bold, a simultaneous strike to cripple the Greek-speaking world, India, and Israel before they can mount any kind of response. The pharaoh continues to talk about the plan decisively. The pyramids will protect us. Our fortifications are thus impenetrable, and our knowledge of this ancient technology will give us the advantage. When the time is right, we will unleash the full power of our stockpiles. The Mesopotamian king nods in agreement, saying, "It is decided then. We will strike first, and we will strike hard. The others will not know what hit them." The scene shifts to other civilizations in the Greek-speaking world, in ancient India and Israel. They remain unaware of the secret alliance between Mesopotamia and Egypt, but there is a growing sense of unease. The leaders can feel that something is in the mix, but they cannot pinpoint the source of their discomfort. As these leaders return to their lands, they speak of peace, but the air is thick with tension. The warning from Shiva has not been forgotten, yet the ambitions that led them to the brink of destruction remain. The Greek cultural world, India and Israel, sense that something is very wrong, and yet they cannot see the danger that is brewing. The scene revolves around Solomon standing on a balcony overlooking Jerusalem. He gazes over the city, a city he will soon rule as king, deep in thought. Solomon says to himself quietly, "Peace is fragile. It's very fragile. But there is something lurking beneath the surface that isn't about peace, but what is it?" And in the Greek-speaking world, Plato and Socrates discuss the uneasy feelings settling over the land. The soft sound of waves crashing against the shores adds to the atmosphere of tension. And Plato says, concerned, "We spoke of balance at the summit, yet I fear that balance has not been achieved. The ambitions of men are not easily tempered." And Socrates agrees, "This is true. Men speak of peace, but they also speak of power. One cannot exist without the other, so we must remain vigilant." In ancient India, the wise men and mystics continue to debate the meaning of Shiva's warning. The temple bells ring in the background as they ponder the nature of a possible impending conflict. One Indian priest says, "The gods have shown us their power, but will it be enough?" And while we were warned about using the Brahmastra for offensive reasons to gain territory or wealth, there was nothing saying that we couldn't prepare it for possible defense and retaliation. The leaders of the world sense that the peace they have achieved at the summit is fragile. Mesopotamia and Egypt plot in secret, while the others remain unaware of the true danger that lies ahead. However, they have a sense that something catastrophic, something terrible is coming, a possible first strike. And when it does, the world will once again be plunged into chaos. The peace that was embraced, the peace that was spoken about at the summit, was only an illusion. And soon the fragile threads that hold the world together and hold the entangled civilizations together will be torn asunder.